Oh, Agatha, episode 4. Oh man.
No.
Yeah, I'm loving it, man.
Yeah.
Agatha is so still bringing it for me. Like it's,
Mhm.
I still have zero complaints.
Yeah.
How
No,
did, how did, how did y'all like this episode?
first of all, the like the vibes of like the 70s that we got in this was just
Yes.
I loved it so much. Like the little glasses that Alice had, the bell-bottom jeans that Agatha was wearing. I was like, "Oh my god,
It was a
bring it
whole vibe
back."
and it was working.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess episode 4, we are into a fire trial. I would almost say, which this one really focuses on what's her name? Oh my
Alice.
god, Alice. Yes, drawing a blank.
Yeah.
So immediately we're set back in the 70s. This whole thing is really set with Alice. So it's with her mom's music. Uh, we see it affects all the witches. We see Jennifer Kell focusing on some, which was kind of a little eerie, creepy, like little like devil mask on a wall. And then
Mhm.
if you look, eyes kind of appear inside one
Yep.
mask and visually are moving, and then they disappear again.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie, I love that because it was done well and it wasn't cheesy. I was like, ooh, it's a little creepy. But yeah, pretty much they have to sing her mom's song.
The
And because
rendition of the
yeah,
the ballad. Yeah.
which I really love the creativity where they're like, this actually your mom created this to help protect you because this song would outlive her mom, and it was a protection spell, is what the song
Mhm.
ended up to be, to protect her daughter. And I don't know, I love how they came up with that. I thought that was great. She found out it was more than her mom trying to make her fans her giant coven all over the world. It was actually to protect her daughter long after she died.
Yeah.
But yeah, come to find out, the curse is real. So this curse, immediately she's like, "Y'all feel lighter," and like I love how because that demon's been perched on her like
Yeah.
everywhere she goes, and then uh, they have to figure out how to fight this demon and uplift the curse and protect everybody. She takes the knife and draws circles around them to protect them. And I love how like when Teen gets thrown through the window, everybody rushes in there. Jennifer Kill's like, I'm staying in my circle.
He did.
Look,
He's
the
like, "I'm
hell
not
with that.
moving."
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
But they all end up having to sing, and pretty much get rid of this curse and this demon.
Yeah.
And then once again, something opens up in the house, and they end up going down further. And they keep going down further levels every
Yeah,
time
the
they
piano
leave.
opened, and it
Yeah,
was oh my god, that was, like, so cool because like, pianos actually open like that, and obviously it doesn't go down into the underground or
right.
whatever. But, like, just to, like, see the way that they played on that
Mm.
was, like, really neat.
And I love how we keep going deeper on realms. Everything's always going down. We
Mhm.
started out at ground level when they summoned the Witch's Road. Uh, but then they go down it. They're back on the road. Teen, realize they found Teen. He passed out because when he got through the window, some glass. He's bleeding out. And then we really see a moment here. We have some moments with Agatha and Rio, which we'll get into. But then also, Agatha looks at Rio and she's like, don't," like pleading her not to even come near him, which he even confirms more that we this is death.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, so they end up doing some moonlight water and healing him, and you're back on the Witch's Road, and I'm sure we'll be set for another trial in the next episode.
And that was the cool part of that too, is that, it was Jennifer was the one that, did the
Yes,
moonlight water, and she didn't have her powers before this, but now
yes.
all of a sudden she had some
Mm.
powers and was able to heal him, and we got to see that, and they were like, "Did you see what you did, Jennifer? Like, did you see?" And she's like, "Oh, I did that."
Yes.
He said,
Yeah,
I
it
am a
was great
bad
to see
bitch.
that. Yeah, and like it was, I think she really needed that. She needed to see that. Uh,
Mhm,
so I think it's so cool each episode, even though each what we've seen so far as the trial has been heavily focused on one, we still see an explanation of the lives individually still in
mhm.
each of the witches. I mean, whether it be a struggle or a little bit more, tidbit of their past or something. So I love that.
Yeah, when you think about all the different names that they've tried to name this show, and like it makes you wonder why they stuck with Agatha all along. Like in my opinion, like you could have named this Agatha Coven of Chaos, because
Mhm.
like this first season is really about each individual witch that's in her coven. And
Right.
I think that would have made sense. It would have made so much more sense than Darkhold Diaries because there's nothing, we haven't seen anything Darkhold related besides that one deal about her trading for her son.
Right.
And we just been focused on the coven for most of the season so far.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I
5 episodes
actually
left.
yeah, so Agatha All Along, I like the title because of Agatha All Along at the end of WandaVision. But like you said, honestly, the Coven of Chaos really is more fitting. I kind of wish they would have stuck with that title. That because that
Yeah.
was one of the original titles they were going to go with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the witches in this, and it's
Mm,
like nothing else is going on. We're studying Jennifer Kale, we're studying Alice and Wiccan and everybody that's involved. So just name it that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not over. So well, maybe I think there could be more trials, but I think we've only got like one or two more trials left.
I mean, so
Mhm.
my theory is that and I kind of talked about this with Blake,
Mm-hmm.
um, that like there's the color of the leaves that keep changing.
Mm,
So the first set of leaves that they walked on was kind of like a bluish, like teal type looking color before they went into the sand to get to that first trial. And then we ended up like having the potion like being brewed. So you need water for a potion to be brewed, and they ended up like being underwater by drowning because that's
mm,
one of the ways that witches have been killed in the Salem witch trials. So
right.
then this episode, you got to see that the colors of the leaves were orangish red, and then we went into the trial and it was a fire trial, and Alice's hair has like red in it. So I'm like, okay, so I'm just like picking up little like
Yeah.
ways and things that I'm just like, I don't know if this is like at all anything, but this is where I'm at in my life right now. As I'm like looking and I'm like thinking,
Yeah.
I'm like, could this
I
be something?
I think you're right. I think it's either one or two things. I think you're right, and we're going to see the trials of the way they killed witches back then, or the ways to kill a witch, or
Mm,
or it's the earth, wind, and fire, type thing. One of the two.
yeah,
I personally think it's leaning more towards what your theory is, honestly,
because
because like
so
even when they walked in this house
yeah,
on the '70s theme, you
mhm,
seen on the canvases it showed different witches being killed. Like I
yep,
think one was tied up in a chair.
mhm,
One I think was she hanging from a noose or getting ready to be
I
hung
think
from a
so.
noose?
Yeah.
One was
Mhm,
water. One was fire being burned at the stake. So
mhm.
I truly think that's what it's leaning towards. And you're 100% correct on that.
Also the one of the reasons is like after they left that second trial, and they were trying to heal Teen, the leaves were purple,
Mhm.
and Agatha is purple.
Right.
So I think that's what's probably going to be next is something, or that was something for her, to realize like this is what she cares about most is
Right.
Teen. And Teen asked her like, "Oh, did you put the sigil on me?" And she's like, "What? No,
Yeah.
no."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hmm,
Which
okay,
we did learn in this one. Whoever puts a sigil on someone, that spell actually works on whoever gave it for them to forget
mhm,
and not know that they did it. So at the
yeah."
end of the day, whoever put the
Nobody
sigil
would
on
know.
him is not going to know.
And the only
Yeah.
way to break it is to know the name.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And is that was it? Wasn't there some other piece they said? Like
Well,
the
they
only
said that
way it can
as
be broken was the only way it can come off it is to the reason for it was put on, like the reason for it to be done is over, and that's the
yeah,
only way it can be broken. Yeah.
mhm, yeah.
Yeah. And then the episode ended with like Rio like telling Agatha to her face, like, you know he's not yours, right?
They almost kissed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Phew.
And then
On the
Rio
MCU
had
highlight.
to ruin it. The moment makes Agatha storm off.
We'll get
Phew.
back to that. It's okay. It's coming.
We're gonna
Yep.
find out what she meant by that statement too.
I mean,
Yeah.
and Blake showed it to me is that they had said that same line in WandaVision
Ooh.
Mm.
that
Yeah.
you know that's
About
not your child.
telling Wanda, hey, That's not your boys, and then now Agatha has been told that's not your son,
Because
so there's
Agatha
that.
told Wanda that, and
Yeah,
now
Yeah.
she's being told by somebody else that those are like,
yeah.
"That's not your kid," and I'm
That's a
like,
whole
Mhm.
nother level of layered depths right there. It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
okay, how's it feel, bitch? No, uh, man, there's so many great things in this. So, I want to bring back up this. This was one of the lower budgeted series that was brought up. Agatha is one of the lower budgeted series,
mhm,
and they really leaned a lot more into practical effects. And I tell you what, it's working for me. Like I love it. Like I tell you what, this demon,
yeah,
like it was horrendous.
yeah,
Like even though the wings you can tell are practical, like at the same time, man, the makeup and VFX effects like they did to it, man, it was scary. It was a scary ass deal. And like
mhm,
for those marks to be on her, and those are marks from that thing perching on her
the
shoulder.
claws.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
creativity from that, I'm like, man, that is cool. And just as she was like, I feel lighter, and of course nobody's felt lighter but her. And I'm like, man, imagine that. Like you can't see it, but you've been walking around with this thing perched on you, which is your curse. Like I really thought it was really creative to come across as a curse layering over someone and a curse being a demon, and that
Mm,
thing not even metaphorically being attached, but physically being attached.
yeah.
Phew.
I
And
loved
this
it.
also reminded me of The Wizard of Oz with the flying monkeys,
Yeah, yeah.
because
Yeah.
they kinda have, like, that same kind of look, and they have,
Mhm.
like, the perchy claws and stuff, so I was like, "Oh, is that also a nod now to The Wizard of Oz some other way?" Um, yeah.
But let's give shout out to Teen for being a trooper. He had that glass in his side the whole time they were rocking out. Looked down,
Mm.
seeing it, didn't care. He was just going, man.
You keep
Uh,
on.
yeah, and then pass out there at the end. I'm like, okay, all right,
He's a warrior.
yeah. But I don't know, man. We keep seeing so many moments too. Like we know Agatha's bad, and I really want Agatha to stay bad. Like I don't want it to be like, oh, she's some great, great, great person. Sure, give us some reasons for why she is this way, but yeah, don't give her a redemption arc to make her a good person. Keep her bad. But
Yeah.
man, we keep seeing these little tidbits of a motherly concern, or I think as she's working with these witches, she's slowly being drawn to them and caring. But she still has these outbursts and these moments where she's like, "All right, screw y'all. I don't care about you."
Yeah.
Uh, I'm curious to see like how strong that's going to get, or if she's going to stay solid and faking things
Mm.
until she's done with them at the end.
Like that scene where, like, Agatha and Rio are in that, like, music room in the back, and then she, like, leans on
Mm.
the little,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
mic thing, and she's like, "Oh, I would never,"
yeah.
or
Yeah.
something
Set
like
her
that.
up.
Oh my god.
You,
So many
you
major deviations from the comics, but I'm loving it. So MCU can have this one.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I that's what the MCU too has kind of been known for. They rewrite the narratives and some of these characters and their powers or their storytelling, which so far I don't really have much of a complaint for, and I kind of like it because we don't want nothing to be predictable. We don't want to come directly out of the comic book pages where we're going to be able to predict, what's going to happen next. So truly, it's the MCU creating their own new storyline with these arcs, these characters and their arcs, and changing them. But I don't know. It works. It works for me. I like it. I like us not being able to predict. But
Yeah.
I still though in Fantastic Four, I want to see another version of Agatha. Like give us a comic accurate. Like don't dive into her
The
character by
nanny?
no means, but just give us an old Agatha as the nanny, and then like a couple of scenes or something like that. Nothing deep, but I would
Mhm.
love to see that,
Would
and it'd be
you
a good nod to the OG.
would you want them to actually have the same, person that plays Agatha in this, or would you want, like, an actual, like, older actor, like, kind of like a Glenn Close or something,
Mm. I
who we
would
know is kind of evil and
right.
has that, like, Cruella de Vil, like, type, aura about her,
Yeah.
to play old Agatha
I
Nanny.
would I would love to
Catherine.
see I would love it to be Catherine Hahn and they like DH her like they did Steve Rogers. Or not DH her, age her like they did Steve Rogers at the end of
Mhm.
Endgame. That
Okay,
Yeah.
that would be cool.
okay.
'Cause that was
I was
actually
just
Chris
wondering.
Evans playing old Cap, that they aged up, sitting there at the end when he passed the shield on to Sam.
Hmm,
But
interesting.
yeah, I don't know. Glenn Close would be a great one. Unfortunately, she's already been in Marvel though. is what Nova Prime.
Yeah, but makeup does wonders.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
This
Just look at Josh Brolin.
Yeah, for real, for real.
is true.
But yeah, I'm loving it still. I do hope that they don't drag out all the trials till the end.
Mm,
Like I want to see. I don't want to be. Like I watched the deal the other day, and I didn't really think about this. Brandon Davis guested on the break room, the Rockstar's break room, and he's like, I don't want to see episode after episode trial, and it become redundant. And then we have one or two episodes where it's just like, oh, okay, now this is what happened. And I thought about that. I'm like, I like the idea of the trials. I think they're very important. It's very important what we see them go through. But I do hope they don't stretch them out and it be 3/4 of the season.
mm.
Right.
No, I
We
think
have
that we have two more probably trials, and then we're gonna
Mhm.
get to the end, and then we're gonna eventually have to go back into time
Right.
because we see we had seen her kick Teen in the chair that was actually in her home, so
Right.
we
And
have to
her
have
Agatha's mom,
that.
I believe, is confirmed to be like who played her mom from WandaVision. I think she's confirmed to be in the scene. So I think we're definitely going to get a more flashback. Well, let's be real. We always get some kind of flashback in these seasons. So the screeners, everybody screened these. They sent out like the first 4 episodes. Uh, but there's people that like were part of the creativity of it, and some people, especially people who've seen this that weren't screeners, they're saying that episode 5, the next one, is like really, really good. Like
Mm,
I don't, I've not heard nothing about what happens to it, but they said episode 5 is really like really good. Like it stands out and is even more deeper than the first 4. So yeah, I hope that's right. I hope it's right.
interesting.
we only
We
have
got two
what, 8
witches left,
episodes
and we
though?
have 5 episodes left.
Yeah, eight
Uh,
episodes, and we're halfway, so we got
yeah.
4 left. So yeah, I really hope
It's just 9. We got a doubles on October 31st. So
yeah,
8,
yeah.
9. Yep.
Season finale is a double episode showing.
Mm,
So yep. Uh, I'm ready for it. I hope it's good though. I just hope with this story and what needs to go along, this is one of the seasons that definitely does not need a filler episode. So I
mhm.
hope we don't end up getting one of those filler episodes.
Yeah. No, this is
Yeah.
true. Don't become Naruto. Don't keep giving us filler episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Going to the next thing on the list, Spider Noir. Good old Nick Cage got a first leaked set photo
Mhm.
right there. He's in no black trench coat. Not a whole lot we see that's could be teased or nothing like that, but yeah, he's in that black trench coat. Looks like he's almost would be in that full suit that he normally is in, minus the mask right there. So
Mhm.
in the
Yeah.
hat.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what they do with this. I did see another one of the leaked photos of the set of him holding this newspaper.
Mm.
And if you kind of look sideways and kind of zoom into the paper a little bit,
Uh-huh.
you see something called it says the newspaper head article thing. It says Spider-Man or sorry, Silvermane survives in cities.
Oh.
For those of you that don't know, like me, who had to do a little bit of research, Silvermane is actually his actual name is Silvio Manfredi.
Mm-hmm.
He is a major criminal in the in the Marvel comics for
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man in general. He's like a crime boss, a part of the Maggietti or Maggie, Maggie. Ah, um, that's the organization that he's head of. So he eventually goes to prison at some point in the comics, and for tax evasion, and his empire is kind of actually kind of crumbles, and Kingpin actually takes over.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, ooh,
Hmm.
like where are they going with this timeline?
Right.
There are lots of different things about Silvermane, and he gets his name because it's a nickname because he in his 40s his hair went grayish like silver, and he
Mm.
looks like he has a silver mane.
Huh.
So I'm excited to see what they do with this. This is supposedly possibly their villain
Mm.
of Spider Noir. Um so I'm excited to see what they do with the old timey 30s feel.
Yeah.
And see how Nick Cage does that as an actual, like, because got to hear him play Spider Noir
Right. It
already in the
worked
Spider
well.
Verse movies. Yeah, no, it did.
Yeah,
But you didn't get to see his face. Now we see his face and the
Yeah.
fingers.
and
You know,
The Elvis fingers.
Huh.
That's
But
probably how you shoot his webs out too with the Elvis point.
I just really hope they
you
keep a
know that
lot
would
of.
be hilarious.
I really hope they just keep a lot of control over him and
Mm,
his acting and like what they want him to do, and not give him so much freedom on
mm,
on like letting loose like he does on so many. If they
Oh,
really keep on him on the acting and not let him free act anything, I think we'll be
mhm.
all right. But that's the
Okay.
main thing is like, yeah.
yeah,
It
a
has
little bit more
potential.
background on Silvermane. If you've watched the Spider-Man animated series from in the '90s, Silvermane had a daughter, Alicia Silvermane,
Mhm.
and both of
And
them were
she,
both like
yeah,
long-term antagonists for Spider-Man.
she
They
eventually
hired
dated,
Tombstone.
um, yeah, she dated Peter Parker for a short period of time too.
She did.
Mm.
Man, Peter was winning. He Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane Watson, Alicia. It's like, damn, bro, chill out. But Alicia was a problem on her own too. So the Silvermane
Mm,
family is not to be trifled with.
Mm.
So the Spider-Man Noir universe is a completely separate universe from Peter Parker. So it's interesting to see what Silvermane and his world is going to be about.
yeah. Or if this is just a newspaper and we're reading too much into it.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Yeah,
that could be just that in the show as a Easter egg.
Yeah.
right.
You never know with Marvel. You
I feel
never
it's
know.
something like Spider Noir. You're going to need a very, very ground level, threat. I don't think it could be too crazy, really.
Mhm.
So I think it would make sense if they went that route.
Yeah.
Also, I love 20s and 30s era stuff. Like that's one of my favorite eras. Like if I could go back in time and like revisit and live in an era, 20s, 30s, I really love. So like I'm super excited just to see something that's like all that time era. Like
Yeah.
I hope I'm sure it'll be done well. But I don't know. I just love like how people dressed back then.
And that's
Like
the Prohibition era, right? So
mhm.
the
We're gonna see Nick
Yeah.
the
Cage's
shimmy
Spider
like
Noir,
dresses.
run and shine also on the side. As a side gig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's what this like whole storyline is that he's like a washed up like cop
Mm.
realizing that he's really the only superhero in his time and he still has to fight things and he's like battling that. So he's definitely probably has a drinking problem.
Oh man.
So I can only imagine like where we're going with this.
Yeah. Oh, I'm ready for it though. I'm anxious for it. Like until I physically have seen it, even if, no matter what Sony puts out, so I physically watch it. I'm like, all right, they failed us again. Like
Ugh.
I'm going to get excited for a lot of these stuff.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I mean the next Sony project that we have coming out
is
is
Venom,
Venom.
and
Yeah.
then Craven.
Yep.
Oh
That'll be
man.
Venom in October and Craven in December.
Hmm. And this isn't like the Spider Noir doesn't really have like a date or anything attached, but the fact
Mhm.
that they just started filming it probably means like we probably won't get it until like late 2025 is my thinking.
Oh, I bet you're right. I'm sure.
Mm.
I am anxious to hear kind of playing off the Spider-Man thing. There's rumor that Spider-Man 4 is going to be labeled the King in Black. And there's so many rumors with this Venom movie. Like we're so close, we're about to find out that this is the last Venom title, but this is
Mm,
not the last time we see Tom Hardy's Venom in other movies. And they're saying that at the end of this movie, like Noel is going to cross over into the MCU,
mm,
and that this is going to lead a lot of Sony's characters and stuff being permanently into the MCU. So
okay.
and supposedly the MCU is going to kind of like take over that and bring these characters in.
Okay.
And I don't and into Tom Holland Spider Verse. And I think if that's true, I know it's wild, but if that's true, I think this is a good thing because then
Mm,
we'll get a lot of these characters. We'll probably get a real Sinister Six, or whatever, and it be done right by the MCU.
yeah.
But this is strictly rumor, speculation. I don't know if it's going to happen or not.
I've
Also,
also I've
I was gonna
also
say,
read though that like Tom Hardy has said that like he's not doing Venom again. Like this is his last one.
yeah. Well, I think so. What that's been read into, like this is his last Venom movie because Tom
Okay.
Hardy actually loves the Venom character, He's like super
Oh,
obsessed with it, and they're like, if he was asked to be his Venom character, be on the titles, they're like, no doubt he would definitely do it. But
okay.
he's just done making the Venom standalone movies.
Got it.
That's
And
fair.
also, the latest person to play Noel that's heavily rumored is Andy Serkis. They're saying that that's who's going to be playing him. And of all people to play the CGI character, I think Andy Serkis would be a great one. I mean, we've seen his many talents as Alfred Pennyworth. We see him in oh shoot, Black
Black
Panther.
Panther. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lucy's
and then
Claw.
he Smeagol's and Gollum in Lord of the Rings. Dude's very versatile, and like he's also done the Lord of the Rings audiobooks, and he's reading the audiobooks, but while he's doing them, he changes his voice and does it to the character's voice. Oh yeah, like
This is
I
amazing.
yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
downloaded them, but that's one of my things I want to download because like just him narrating and then changing his voice. Oh yeah,
Mm,
dude's got an iconic voice and can do so many different characters. It's wild.
that's great. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So
cool. I just finished my first Stephen King book. This is my next thing apparently on my list.
also, Deadpool Wolverine out for digital download. It's on Amazon Prime. You can buy it. I will probably buy it.
Mhm.
I don't. It's got so many extras. Like I've not got to see
Yeah.
anything.
The deleted scenes. Oh my God.
Yeah,
There's like so many of them.
there's a lot of extras, but we do not know when it's going to come to Disney Plus for streaming yet. It's rumored to be around October 26th. Toward the end of October, beginning of November. I'm sure like this digital download, they're going to give us 2 to 4 weeks. See how much more cash grab they can get.
They
On
are
that.
breaking so many records right
Yeah.
now, also with the amount of people that have downloaded this movie and bought it. I know that I'm gonna get it like as soon as so AD comes up like this weekend. So I know that like we're gonna go ahead and like get it and
Uh,
watch all of those scenes and everything too.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. You have to let us know.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I will.
yeah.
Perfect date
I've
night
heard
right there.
I've heard that there's a lot more Chris Evans in the
Oh,
deleted
really?
scenes.
Oh,
That's what I've
nice.
read.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm here
damn.
for that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
His scenes were so funny. Also, Andrew Garfield. He was just in an interview recently, and he's making it known. He's 100% down to return of Spider-Man. And
Mhm.
out of all three Spider-Men we've had, he was the one that was kind of done the dirtiest. You know, because he had another Spider-Man film coming up, and then that stuff shift happened, and then they cast Tom Holland, and they started the new Spider-Man again, and
Yeah.
so I don't
But
know, man.
after like No Way Home came out, like everybody's like, "Oh man, would we want to see him as a Spider-Man again?" Like
Yeah.
it's been like kind of like played with, and now
hmm
knowing that like he said like he's down for it.
I,
I don't
I
know.
I'm here for it, man. So as an actor alone, I love Andrew Garfield. I
Mm,
don't think I've hardly seen anything he's been in that's been bad.
okay.
To me personally, like the dude, he's very versatile.
Mm,
Uh, there's a film, and it's probably a lesser known film of his. I think it's called 99 Houses, 99 Homes or 99 Houses, and it's about like when I think it's back in '08, like when the economy crashed, and it's kind of like a guy going through a hard time and trying to rebuild his life. And if you haven't watched it, I'm telling you right now, like watch what it's called 99 Houses, I believe, and it's
that's
so
giving me
good.
like the Pursuit of Happiness vibes just off of what you've
hmm
said.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
that's there's like I immediately
I love
thought
that movie too.
of
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah, no, it's a great movie. It's a great Will Smith
Tearjerker.
movie. Oh
Yeah,
man,
Mm-hmm.
but between that and there's like Hacksaw Ridge, Spider Man, and then shoot, there's that one where he plays a musician. Like they're all great movies though. He's a great actor, and like I don't know, I like his Spider Man too. Like he's by far he's like not my favorite Spider Man, but
Mhm.
I enjoy watching his Spider Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has the most comic accurate Spider-Man. Tom Holland has best of both worlds, and then Toby's the best Peter Parker.
Mm, I got that. Something about just Toby's face, I can't stand as Peter Parker.
The
Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest with you. He's like one of those. Still, I'm like, God,
Was it
no.
because
Flash
of
Thompson
his
should punch him.
emo? Is it because of his
Oh,
emo scene?
it wasn't because of that, but let me tell you, that did not help.
His little dance scene
So
and
cringe. I know, and
yeah.
I know it was supposed to be cringe because in his mind, this was what Peter Parker's idea he thought cool was being, and so like I get the whole reason behind it for anybody, wants to jump down my throat about it. But Tobey Maguire is my least favorite. I'm just he is.
Okay.
Yeah.